This article describes the medieval weapon. For the Finnish heavy metal band, see Falchion. A falchion is a one-handed, single-edged sword of European origin, whose design is reminiscent of the Persian scimitar, the Chinese dadao, and modern machete. The weapon combined the weight and power of an axe with the versatility of a sword. Falchions are found in different forms from around the 11th century up to and including the 16th century. In some versions the falchion looks rather like the weapon-seax and later the sabre, and in some versions the form is irregular or like a machete with a crossguard. Types. The blade designs of falchions varied widely across the continent and through the ages. They almost always included a single edge with a slight curve on the blade towards the point on the end, and most were also affixed with a quill and crossguard for the hilt in the manner of the contemporary arming swords. Unlike the double-edged swords of Europe, few actual swords of this type have survived to the present day. Fewer than a dozen specimens are currently known. Two basic types can be identified: cleaver falchions. One of the few surviving falchions is shaped very much like a large meat cleaver, or large-bladed machete. This type is also illustrated in art. The type seems to be confined to the 13th and 14th centuries. Cusped falchions. The majority of the depictions in art reflect a design similar to that of the Groes Messer. A surviving example from England's 13th century was just under 2 pounds in weight. Of its 37.5 inches length, 31.5 inches of a straight blade which bears a cusped or flare clip tip similar to the much later Khalij of Turkey. This blade style may have been influenced by the Turco-Mongol sabres that had reached the borders of Europe by the 13th century. This type of sword continues in use into the 16th century. In addition, there are a group of 13th and early 14th century weapons sometimes identified with a falchion. These have a falchion-like blade mounted on a wooden haft 2 feet long, sometimes ending in a curve like an umbrella. These are seen in numerous illustrations in the mid-13th century Majorski Bible. A number of weapons superficially similar to the falchion existed in Western Europe, including the messer, hanger and a backsword. Status. It is sometimes presumed that these swords had a lower quality and status than the longer, more expensive swords. It is possible that some falchions were used as axe-like tools between wars and fights, since they were practical pieces of equipment. While falchions are commonly thought to be peasants' weapons, this is not always the case. The Conyers falchion belonged to a landed family, and the falchion is shown in illustrations of combat between mounted knights. Some later falchions were ornate and used by the nobility. There is an elaborately engraved and gold-plated falchion from the 1560s in the Wallace collection, engraved with the personal coat of arms of Cosimo I de' Medici, Grand Duke of Tuscany. References. External links: The Falchion Sword, a wonderful curved sword.